was brought up in a system called America, a cult, a culture that taught me everything I thought I knew to be true. I began to ask questions like, what is this? What is life? They taught me that this is a tree, but what is a tree beyond what I see? I began to ask questions. Is this the right way to live? Is everything that I've been told true? How do I perceive reality? I began to get answers. Answers like, reality is based on your perception. Once you change the way you think, your reality will then change along with that. I began to get answers like, all is mental. Everything starts with a thought. I began to get answers that told me there's more to life than what meets the eye. There's more to life than what I've been taught. I began to get answers that all the energy that we put into chasing money is truthfully something that is not very tangible, or something that is not going to make you the best that you could be. I began to get answers like, money, true money, is your energy. This is why I've always been rebellion. I always did not like the system. I dropped out of school in 9th grade. I was always questioning church, falling asleep in church, to a point where I'm like, is Jesus even real? What am I to believe? And I got an answer that said, all your beliefs turn into reality. Once you believe something, it becomes real in your mind. All is mental. Once you change that belief, that becomes real. So, knowing that, we have to know that everything that we are taking in should be based in facts, in scientific facts. Science is the study of nature. Nature is what is. It's what we come from. It's what we have created math through, what we created our language through, what we have communication through, what we eat, what sustains us. It all comes from nature. Once you start to ask questions, the answers shall come. If you do not ask questions, what you are doing is accepting what comes to you as true. We grew up in a system that did not teach us beyond the physical. A cult that wants us to believe in whatever it tells us. Though, if we study deeper, we will know everything in our reality is based on how we perceive it. And most things are perceived based on what we've been taught. All intelligence actually comes from within. All the books I've read, only certain things resonated with me. All the things I've been taught, only certain things resonated with me. That's because that was already in me. I'm just being reminded through these experiences. I want to be able to help change the world. This is something I've always wanted. And my mind was focused on that. I did not know how. I did not know when. I did not have truth or knowledge of self. All I knew was I wanted to help change the world. I wanted to be the best person that I can be. And all the answers start coming to me. Now it's up to me to be able to choose if I want to be able to indulge in that. If I want to be able to accept what was being taught. At certain times, there's levels to enlightenment. And there was a time where I looked into history, which is other humans' stories of their life. And when I looked into it and took into account my intellectual abilities. I felt that all we need to do is own businesses. All we need to do is get this money, and then we will be able to be in a good place. All we need to do is fight back, get guns. Then they'll put them in their place, not realizing that you don't have to do none of that. Everything that you need will come to you if you learn to understand who the fuck you are. Learn to lighten your heart up. Anything that you read or you indulge in, any person that you come in contact with, if it gets you angry, if it gets you sad, if it gets you in any type of unbalanced state of mind or state of being or energy, then it's up to you. You have to be able to alchemize that, turn it into a positive, right? And this is how you stay into balance, like nature. Nature is always in balance, is always getting back to structure. If you cut down something, it's going to grow straight. It's going to start growing back. If you put something in front of an ant, it's going to go around it. There's all different things that we can learn straight from nature. All right? And we have to learn to stay in tune with it, learn to understand it. Because this is what our ancestors have done. They learned straight from nature on what we should do. And man created books, created stories based on his interpretation and passed that down and said, you should believe this. Not realizing that he got his perception based off of his mind state, his thoughts. And somebody else, your child, another human, a bird, anything can be able to teach you something based off of their own perception. So we have to realize that we are everything into existence, but we are a piece of that. And through our piece, we are able to perceive things in different ways. So we are all bringing something to the table. And when you start to say, look, and you start to program your child at a young age and say, look, you need to think of this like this. This block is not supposed to be doing like that. You're supposed to do it like this. You start to program them. You start to take away their authenticity. What they came here to bring. We are all one, broken down into many pieces. And within those pieces, we all bring something to the table. If you want to change my piece to look like your piece, we're going to miss something within this lifetime. We're going to miss pieces to the puzzle. Okay? Every piece brings something different to the table. And we have to truly allow. See, we've been put into schools. Schools are natural. But we're into a big, huge system that has to have control, and it has greed. It's not a school system based off of a village or a family system. And even in that, as family, you should have understanding. You should have love for your children and others that come into your reality. Because once you have love, understanding for them, then you will be able to perceive things in a wider range. See, once you're in one mind, oneself, then it's hard to look outside of that until you start asking questions, and then you will get your answers. So I encourage everyone, start asking questions. What is life? What is this? What is my skin? How did I get here? So many questions can be asked. Just start with that. Start with that, because everything is mental. Start asking those questions, and answers will come.